So this is their new ROG NUC 2025. It does have a brand new Intel Arrow Lake that is their HX series. Now it's probably the 285, I would assume. And on top of it, that does have the up to 96 gigabytes of RAM you can really upgrade to if you wanted to. And it does have the DLSS 4 with the brand new RTX 50 series that you can take full advantage of. So you can game on it. It's really nice that you can bring it with you to, say, your entertainment system if you really wanted to. It can even support up to 4 different displays. It has Bluetooth 5.4, has a really nice design where you can just really take it on the go. Now this is really cool. This is ASUS's NUC. This has the VA24DQ. This one's the NUC 15 Pro. And I'll show you the specs of it. I mean, this is super light, very easy to carry with you. Similar for those who just want to have a minimal PC in their house and not have to spend a ton of money on it. And it is great for those who want to use it for any type of, say, you can actually use this for a type of content creation, like Photoshop, things like that. And it does have the Intel Core Ultra 7 in there built in. It might be even the Ultra 9, but it does have the Intel Arc GPU built in. It does have the NVMe, so it is completely upgradable. And it can go up to 96 gigabytes of 6400 megahertz. And you can easily upgrade this without any tools. It has a ton of ports that you can use up on it. Now, for those who want to know more about the Scar 16, which is their next generation for 2025, they've brought back this. I know a lot of you have been looking for this, and especially for a newer generation, the ROG Strix Scar 16 has definitely brought it back. This has the Intel processor in it, and it even has the RTX 5090 built into this display. Not display, but built into this laptop. Almost that familiar feeling when it comes to the ROG Strix line, when it comes to their laptops. Has that nice, smooth feeling. It's very comfortable to touch. And let me see, is it on? No, it is not. But take a look at the specifications here. I'm assuming USB 3.2 Gen 2, I'm assuming. And it looks like it vents out here in the back. Here we got the ROG Flow Z13. This is their new device that they came out with where you can make it a little bit more portable. It's almost like how a Microsoft Surface Pro is, but just like a gaming version of it. Now it has the Max 395 built with it. On top of it, it does have a quad dual memory channel on here. Has a nice camera. The keyboard is completely detachable, which is pretty cool. Take a look in the back of it. That is really cool looking on the back. Got a nice LED, and it even has the stand on there. Now it is a full touch screen display here, so you can easily tap onto the screen, and you can even type different commands. So if you wanted to really touch it, you can. And it does look like it uses a power adapter to charge it up. Now this is ROG Zephyrus G16. This is their new build for 2025. Now I know a lot of you have been waiting for this, for the RTX 50 series. Now this has the RTX 50 series built in. On top of it here, I'll show you the specs, matter of fact, right here. And you can take a look at it. As it does have the AI7 350 processor. It comes with a RTX 5070. Now you can always upgrade them all the way up to the RTX 5090 if you'd like. The other model next to me actually has the RTX 5070 Ti built into it, but it does have different features that you can add into it. It does have the ROG Nebula display, similarly to what they had back in 2024. It is only 4.1 pounds, and it does use that CNC chassis. So I know a lot of you didn't really like that color, so they do have the options now. They even have the white ones, and it looks fantastic for what this laptop has. Now you can see how great the colors are. Now it does have the new DLSS 4. That is exclusive for the RTX 50 series, and these laptops can take full advantage of it. Now what I'm really curious about is to see how well just to see how well the battery life is handled on this, because it does say it is it comes with 32 gigabytes. Now it is LP DDR5. I know not a lot of people are big fans of LP DDR5. Unfortunately, this is more of the newer wave, and it's to really make the laptops lighter and easier to carry with you. Now it does have intelligent cooling, and it has triple fans underneath to keep this laptop nice and cool. Now I know some of you are probably curious about the back of it. It does have that LED strip onto the back of it, but again, it can be disabled, and it looks like this one got unplugged, but it uses the same power adapter. It doesn't use USB-C charging, so some of you guys that might be into that, you would have to personally get yourself for it. Now, this has some awesome features. This does also have the RTX 50 series. It has, again, DLSS4, which you can take full advantage of. And it does have the NVIDIA Studio built in. This is the RTX 5070 Ti. It does have a VGA display, which is 16 inches, and it has the 9000 HX series. Now, because of the larger processor that's going to be in there, you can definitely expect it. You can certainly expect it to be a little bit heavier. This has Witcher 4 display, and I bet you this is going to be quite a little heavy, but you sacrifice a little bit of weight, but it will definitely be cheaper compared to the Zephyrus because of that. Now, more than likely, I do expect the RAM to be interchangeable on these ones, because it says that is a DDR5 5600 megahertz. Hopefully this isn't part of the new wave, and it doesn't. I believe this is interchangeable RAM. Right here we got the ROG G18. This is just a larger version of their G16 that we saw earlier in the presentation that they had here. Now, this does have the Ultra 9 processor built into it. Here are the specs for it. As the new RTX 50 series as well. Now with the pricing, we're not quite sure what they're going to market as, but as soon as they put it up into the market, we'll kind of figure it out. It does have the brand new DLSS4 that you can take full advantage of, and allegedly you can go into full ray tracing mode because of it, which is going to be quite interesting. It has the 5080 built into this one. It has 18-inch display, and it does have the 275HX with it. Now it does have the full RGB keyboard back here, but that's nice and backlit. Has the almost like the familiar look of when it comes to ASUS ROG laptops. See the webcam here, and onto the back of it has that sleek type of look to it. So this is the type of material that they use. They use anodized and high-tech ceramic cerulean. It's kind of a mix of material here, and what that does is it helps curb fatigue and wear. But they check it for impact resistance. So here is the new ASUS Zenbook A14. Right here you can check out the specifications. Now this it claims it can get about 70 watts per hour out the battery, so that's up to 32 hours of video playback, as the new Snapdragon processor, the X Elite, and has a 45 watt chipset power. On top of it, it does have a 14-inch display up to 60 hertz of OLED, and it is full of ports. I know everybody complains about that, and I'll show you exactly what I mean. It is ceramic coated, so that way it prevents any scratching. It kind of has more of a thicker feel compared to the MacBooks, as you know that they are more of aluminum feel. So it has like this almost like a Cerakote type of feel to it, to prevent any type of scratching or fatigue. I know it's real easy if you're wearing a watch and you can scratch on the top of the surface of a laptop like this. Now take a look at the ports that they do have back here. Now it does have USB-C on both ends, and it has an HDMI port. Pretty cool, nifty ASUS logo here. Kind of discreet, really awesome looking. And if you're curious about how it cools, it vents through these fans right here. Here is the ROG G700, and this actually has a RTX 5090 built into it. Take a look at that. Is it 5090? Yeah, RTX 5090.
This is more of a discrete design. Look how small it is. This is with their AMD 9800X 3D with their TUF on the board here. It's ASUS Prime. Now you may be familiar with this as I did a build with this, but this is actually the extreme version, so you can see how much larger the screen is compared to the original ROG Ryujin 3. Now this one, it does have the version 2 pump as a 3-phase motor, so it can really keep nice and cool, keep your CPU nice and cool, especially if you're running hot. Now it deals with a lot of static pressure, and it does keep CPUs nice and cool. I'm curious to see how well it does. And wow, take a look at all the new motherboards that are released here. This is quite the collection here that they have, the Crosshair 8X70E. And then on top of here, they got the Z890s. And I know some of you are looking for the B860Is, and there it is also released. So if you want to do a minimalistic build, it's definitely possible now. And yeah, the B860F, that's highly recommended, especially because of all the newer advancements, the quick releases. Now this is all for Intel right there. Here is what everyone's looking for, some AMD motherboards here. Here is the B850F gaming Wi-Fi, and it's ready for AM5 sockets. On top of it, it has a 16.2 power phase. And here goes another B850E. Very minimalistic, not as crazy when it comes to RGBs, which are nice for those who prefer that. Especially now, I know there are those who feel a little bit mixed. Still has the nice Q code, especially in the B850Es. And on top of it, it does have the Nitro path tracing for the RAM. It has the quick releases. Even with the PCI Express, it's also still built in. And here is the B850E. The A50i gaming Wi-Fi, AM5 sockets, which is really cool. Now take a look at this. They do have a new evolution when it comes to CPU AIO cooling, the ROG Ryuo IV. I think it's Ryuo IV. It looks like it. At 360 ARGB CPU, and take a look how gorgeous that is. It just look how you can customize it. Look how large it is, and it has a beautiful display on there. So it not only can you really customize a video even on there if you wanted to, you could really, instead of having a GIF, you could really set up any type of video you would like through it. Now it takes up a good amount of, it takes a decent amount of space, and definitely a highly attractive LCD display. And take a look at these RGB fans that they do have. And I guess these are swappable, which is pretty dope. So you could switch it to how you would like. So with TUF Gaming Z890 Pro Wi-Fi, it has a Intel LG A1851 sockets. On top of it, it's Ultra 9.7. It can fit up to the newest sockets, such as the LGA 1851. On top of it, it does have AI overclocking. It has some really deep features that you can really use, such as the brushless memory. That is great to have because you will have a decent connection because of that. On top of it, it has all the newest, greatest features you can think of when it comes to Thunderbolt 4. It has Wi-Fi 7, it has PCI Express 5. Now this is all strictly for Intel. Now the B860, remember, the B860 is not for AMD, it is for Intel. So you want to make sure to purchase the right motherboard, but it is quite a beautiful motherboard. It is all white, and you can use this for Intel Ultra 9, 7, or 5, as up to 3 M2 slots, which is PCI Express 5 and Wi-Fi 7, and it does have Type-C if you are looking for that. It has great performance, and it does have the new addressable Gen 2 headers for those who like to mess with RGBs. All right, so we're just arriving to this new TUF Gaming B850, and it is a BTF board. If you're not sure what a BTF board, it means that it practically has no connections on it. You can
hide everything behind it so it looks nice and clean. Take a look onto the front of the motherboard here, as this is for a AMD build. On top of it, it does have some awesome components, and they're even military grade, which makes it even better. On top of it, it has a protective PCB coating on it, and it even has a phase change GPU thermal pad. It even has a dual boot BIOS on top of it, and you can even have customized GPU tweaks on here. Now it is ready for all AMD, for all AM5 AMD processors, and it does have Wi-Fi 7, PCI Express 5, and it does have the quick release, which I personally loved, especially on the B8 for the X870E, as you saw with the ASUS ROG Hero. Now it does have the quick release PCI Express here, which you can really connect anything onto this motherboard and it would look flawless in any type of build. It even compare with this beast right here. And you know what this is? That's right. This is a AMD Radeon graphics card, ready to go. Now this graphics card is, take a look at that design. It just matches so well. It blends great with AMD. And it even requires up to 3 PCI Express connections. It looks actually like the Radeon 9070. It just hasn't been really quite released yet. Now here we are in the graphics card space. They have the RTX 5080, RTX 5090, and now these fans are quite massive on here. Matter of fact, I think this is the same graphics card where it has even up to 4 fans on them. Yeah, that is quite big. And there goes the other fan that I mentioned here. So yeah, it does have 4 fans on there. It looks like it's almost the same size as the RTX 4090. Don't for this one here specifically. And they do have the Astra series where it is liquid cooled. It's practically like AIO, but for your graphics card. Now it has up to 3 fans. It comes with the radiator built in. And here is the specifications for them. Take a look at this. Here are some of their other models here. Now this one is, I believe, the ROG Strix series from the looks of it. I would imagine up here, it looks like it has some LEDs on the top of it from the looks of it. So it's more than likely similar to all the ASUS ROG Strix RTX 5080s. This one, I believe, is the, and here is also the 5070. Well, actually, this is the RTX 5070 right here. So you can get this probably for a great deal. And it has a decent amount of weight. Has a metal shroud on the back of it. Let's see. I'm sure, and I'm surprised that none of them really have USB-C quite yet. That's what I was hoping we would adapt more into, but that doesn't seem to be the case. But I do love the concept of it. This is the new ROG 9 phone. This has a lot of great features, especially on the back of here. It actually can do a lot of different options that you can take advantage of if you're using the phone. It even has a countdown timer for your camera. Even lets you know what type of tasks you want. It can even reflect the type of games. What's really amazing is that the battery life is actually quite powerful. You can actually go up to 5,800 megahertz. I mean, 5,800 milliamps. So this could last even up to a day and a half. But of course, if you're gaming, it's not going to last as long. Display is quite beautiful on it. Take a look at that. Nothing speaks more ROG than anything like this. Oh, we tried to get that cleared up. There you go. You know what's really cool about this device is the fact how they were able to manage to put USB-C in the middle of the device, which is quite creative. The best part is they put the SoC right into the middle of the phone, so that way you don't really feel the heat if you're playing in a game. Even if you do, they do have a fan on top of it to keep it nice and cool, which is quite amazing.